Okay, so good morning everyone. So today we're gonna talk about ISLM model. This time we're gonna apply it to open economy. Okay, so as we learned before, okay, ISLM model. Okay, we're gonna have IS curve and we're gonna have LM curve, right? IS curve gonna be represent the equilibrium in output market. And LM curve going to represent the equilibrium in money market. However, the model that we learned before is only focused on the closed economy. Okay, only focus on the closed economy. So today we're going to apply ISLM model to open economy. Okay, and see how it works. Open economy. Okay, so since we're gonna talk about open economy means now we're gonna allow the money to move in and move out from our country, and we're gonna allow to have export and import. Okay, so for the open economy, now we're gonna have export and we're gonna have import. Okay, and then we're gonna say that NX, which is gonna be equal to net export. Okay, going to be equal to export minus import. So we're going to have this guy and X in the model. Okay. Not only this one, we also try to capture the capital that moving around the world, okay, into the model. Capital. Okay, you want to capture the level of capital that moving around the world. Since you know, for the open economy, okay, for the open country, okay, we can move the money in and we can move the money out. Okay, I can invest my money in USA, I can invest my money in Japan. Okay, I can move my money to anywhere I want. Okay, to the other open country. Okay, so we're gonna apply the model to capture how the capital moving around the world. So please make sure that you understand that the capital here, okay, it doesn't mean machine, it doesn't mean tools, it doesn't mean factory, but the capital here means money. Okay, the capital here means money, the money that moving around the world. Okay, so let's see how we're gonna plug in the idea of open economy into IS and LM model. Okay, so first let's focus on IS curve. Okay, IS curve. As we learned before, IS curve is going to be the curve that represents the equilibrium in output market. So we're going to have two graphs, one on the top and one on the bottom. Okay. Zero, Y. This is planned expenditure, the total expenditure in the economy. Okay, Y, the level of output and the level of income, right? Okay, and then you're gonna have 45-degree curve. Okay, each point of the 45-degree curve represents that the total output is gonna be equal to the total expenditure or demand equal to supply. Okay. Planned expenditure equal to Y on every point of 45-degree curve. Okay, and on the bottom here, this is going to be O, Y, and R. R for the real interest rate. Y for the level of income. Okay, GDP. Okay, wait a minute. Can we see Y? Okay, should be good. Okay, you can see it now. Y, O. So that's good. Okay, you have Y here, and then you have R here, the real interest rate. Okay. Okay, good. And then, okay, before we learned that for the upper graph here, okay, the total expenditure. Normally we have Normally we have C, okay, plus I of R and plus G. Okay. So what we learned before is the total expenditure in the economy. Normally you're gonna have consumption. Okay. Consumption is how households spend the money, and then you're gonna have investment. Investment is gonna be depend on the real interest rate. Okay, and then you're gonna have government spending. So this is the factor that affects the total expenditure in the economy for the gross economy. Okay. But now we're gonna apply our model to open economy. So now we're gonna add in one more factor into the model. We're gonna plus nx. Okay, we're gonna plus nx. Let's say this one nx1. And remember, nx is net export. So nx is x minus m. Export minus import. Okay, so this one becomes total spending in the open economy. Again, total spending in the open economy comes from consumption, investment, government spending, and net export. Okay, and net export. Okay, so then you're gonna have an equilibrium point here. E1, Y1, you link it down. Y1. For example, assume that R1 is here. This is R1. This is R1. You got point A. This is the first IS curve. Okay, this is the first IS curve. Okay, so just like what we learned before, IS curve always have a negative slope like this. Okay, so then we want to see if something changed. If the level of net export change, how it's gonna affect IS curve. For example, assume that we export more or we import less. Okay, if we export more or import less by changing of export and import like this, net export will become lower. Okay, net export will become lower. If we export more, it means that the other country spend more money on our product. Again, export more, it means that the other country spend more money to buy our product. Okay? If Thailand can export more, for example, if Thailand can export more to Japan, it means that Japanese people spend more money to buy Thailand product. Okay? So it means that the money gonna flow into our country because they buy the product from us more. Okay? Import less is mean that we spend less money. We spend less money on foreign product. Okay? We spend less money on foreign product. Okay? So by export increasing and import decreasing like this, NX gonna be NX should be increasing. Okay? NX should be increasing. Then NX increasing, export more, import less. This is gonna be the benefit to our economy. When we export more, we earn more money. When we import less, we lose less money. So this is a benefit for our economy. So the total expenditure gonna shift up. Okay? Total expenditure gonna shift up and X increasing. This guy shift up. So if NX increasing, okay, the whole curve shift up like this. This is C plus I of R1. R1 still the same. Plus G plus NX2, okay? NX2, NX increasing, okay? Consumption still the same, investment still the same, the real interest rate still the same, the government spending also still the same, okay? Only the level of NX increasing because we export more and import less, okay? So then, since we can export more and import less, okay, it is good for our economy. We have a benefit from this one. Okay, the equilibrium point change from E1 to E2. Okay, the result of this, GDP increasing, GDP suddenly increasing from Y1 to Y2. Okay, GDP suddenly increasing from Y1 to Y2. If we export more, it's good for our economy. We're gonna get more money from the other country, right? The money gonna flow in. GDP increasing. Okay, this is how it benefits our economy. We link it down. I draw the line down, Y1 increasing to Y2, GDP increasing, The real interest is still the same. The real interest is still the same. Because this one we focus on the factor of net export. We didn't focus on the real interest rate. The real interest rate is fixed. Okay? Since the real interest is still here at R1, so it's like the case of the moving from point A to point B. The whole curve shifts to the right. Okay? The whole curve shifts to the right. Okay? So this is how export and import affects IS curve. Okay? How export and import affects IS curve. So for conclusion, for IS curve, okay, IS curve represent the equilibrium in output market, or Y equal to C plus I plus G plus NX. Okay, so IS curve represent this equation. Okay, the total output, gonna go to consumption, investment, government spending, or net export. Okay, this curve, IS curve, represent equilibrium in output market. Okay, represent equilibrium in output market, and if NX increasing, if you export more, import less. Okay, if NX increasing, you're gonna have the effects on IS curve. IS curve gonna shift to the right. Okay, IS curve gonna shift to the right. On the other hand, if NX decreasing, you export less or import more. Okay, this is bad for the economy, right? This is bad for the economy. Then IS curve gonna shift to the left. Okay, this is how export and import affects IS curve. Okay, how export and import affects IS curve. Okay, so done with this one. Okay, we're done with this one. Okay, so we're done with IS curve. Okay, the next one is LM curve. Okay, LM curve comes from liquidity and money. Okay, LM curve gonna represent the equilibrium in money market. Okay, so for the open economy, after we open our country, the idea of LM curve still the same. Okay, the idea of LM curve still the same. This one represents equilibrium in money market. Okay, equilibrium in money market for the LM curve. The idea of LM curve still the same. Okay, I'm gonna cover it again. This one. Okay, for LM curve, you're gonna have two graphs. Link it like this. This is gonna be your real money supply, M over P. The real interest rate. That is the graph on your left side here is gonna be the graph that represents equilibrium in money market. Okay. On the horizontal here is the real money supply. Real money supply. Or the real money in the economy equal to M over P. M is a nominal money supply over price level of P. Okay? If you divide M by P, you're gonna get the real value of your money. How many units of the product you can buy. Okay? It's like a purchasing power. And then here the R stands for real interest rate. Real interest rate is the price of the money. Okay? And then you're gonna have the real money supply curve like this, M over P. The real money supply curve always vertical. Why they always have a vertical line like this? Because even though the real estate is high or even though the real estate is low, the real money supply in the economy is still fixed, still stable, because this one controlled by central bank. Okay, central bank can control M. So then that's why they have a vertical curve. Okay, and then you're gonna have the money demands. Okay, curve like this. MD money demands. For the money demands, you always have a negative slope like this. Okay, the negative slope like this, what does it mean? It means that the real interest rate is high. Everyone wants to hold less money because they want to save the money in the bank. Okay, if the real interest rate is low, okay, everyone wants to hold more money. Okay, want to hold more money. So the level of money that people want to hold in their hand, the level of money that they want to hold in their pocket depend on the price of the money or depend on the real interest rate. Okay, so then you have money supply, the real money supply and money demand intersect to each other. Okay, you got equilibrium point E. You got the real interest rate of the equilibrium point R. Okay, and one more thing. The level of the money that people want to hold in their hands, okay, the money demand depends on their income, depends on Y, for example Y1. Okay, I write down Y1 here, okay. So then I'm going to link this one to the other graph. Here you're going to have the real interest rate on vertical, and you're going to have Y, GDP, or the level of income on horizontal. You link it here, R1, money demands depend on the level of income Y1. Okay, I link R1 and Y1 together. I got point A on LM curve. Okay, I got point A on LM curve. Okay, and okay, if you still remember, if the central bank changing the level of money, if the central bank changing the level of money in the economy M, we're gonna have effects on LM curve. Okay. For example, if the central bank increasing M, if the central bank using the monetary policy increasing M over P, for example, from M1, gonna shift to the right, like this, M2 over P. Okay, if the central bank increasing money in the economy or inject more money in the economy, this graph shifts to the right. M1, M2 over P. Then after that, equilibrium point change, and the real interest rate will be dropped down R1 to R2. Okay. If we link it to the other side, R2, Y still the same, money demand still the same. The income for the economy is still the same, the money demand still the same. Equilibrium point change because of the central bank inject more money. Real interest rate drop down. R1 to R2, so this is going to be the case of shift the whole curve. Shift down from A to B, okay? The whole curve shift down. All you can see on the horizontal is like a shift to the right. Okay, shift to the right. Okay? So, for conclusion, for the open economy, the function of LM curve and money market still the same. Okay? Central bank can control the nominal money supply or M. Okay? So then, since central bank can control M, central bank can control LM curve. Okay? Central bank can control LM curve. If the central bank inject more money in the economy, LM curve will shift to the right, or shift down or to the right. On the other hand, if the central bank destroy the money, lower the number of money down, LM curve will shift to the left. Okay, this is conclusion. Okay, so we're done with LM curve. Just like what we learned before. Okay, Export and import only affects IS curve. Okay, for LM curve there are no effects. LM curve is only about the role of the central bank and the number of money in the economy. Okay, so this is LM curve. Done. Okay, good. Okay, then let me erase this one. one. After we have IS curve, after we have LM curve, next one we're gonna try to expand our model. We try to expand our model. So then we're gonna add in one more curve. We're gonna add in BP curve. So it's become IS, LM, and BP model. Okay. We're gonna add in one more curve into our model. Okay. The new curve that we're gonna add into the model, we're gonna call it BP. Okay. And then BP curve comes from the word balance of payment. Okay, balance of payment. Balance of payment. Okay. So then, what is the meaning of balance of payment? Balance of payment is, okay, how to capture the level of money that flow in and the level of money that flow out from your country. Okay, balance of payment. They show you the level of money that flow in and flow out of your country. Okay, if the level of money that flow in equal to the level of money that flow out, it means that your country have a balance on this one. Okay, you have a balance of payment. Okay, if the level of the money that flow in greater than the level of money that flow out, okay, it means that your balance of payment becomes surplus. Okay, becomes surplus. If the money that flow in less than the level of money that flow out, okay, the money flow out more than the money that flow in, it means that balance of payment, the balance of payment of your country become deficit. Okay, become deficit. Okay, so how to capture the level of money that flow in and flow out of your country? How it comes from? Okay, so let's see. Good. Okay. From this equation, okay, y equal to c plus I plus g plus x minus m. Okay, from this equation. The total output of the economy, okay, y, like a total GDP, gross domestic product. The level of the product you can produce in our country. Okay. Consumption, how people buy the domestic product. Investment, how the business sector invest the money to buy the domestic product. Government spending, okay, how the government buy the product. If we have some product left that nobody want to buy, we're gonna export to the rest of the world. If some product we want to buy but we cannot make it in our country, we're gonna import it from the rest of the world. Okay, so this is gonna be x and minus m. When we export, we earn money. That's why this one is positive. When we import, we have to spend the money out. That's why in front of import is negative. Okay, so we have this equation. Okay, so from this equation, okay, if I do some math, y minus c minus g minus I equal to x minus m. I'm gonna have this one. Okay, and do some math. Rearrange the equation. Minus consumption on the both sides of the equation. Minus investment on the both sides of the equation. Minus government spending on the both sides of the equation. This line becomes this line. Okay? And then I'm gonna do some trick. Okay? Y minus C minus G. Then I plug in tax. Minus tax and plus tax. Okay, and minus investment equal to x minus m. I just minus tax and plus tax in the model. Minus tax and plus tax, this one is just like the zero. nothing affect the equation, right? It's just like a zero, okay? So then after I put minus tag and plus tag in the model, okay, in the equation, now I'm gonna rearrange the equation a little bit, okay? So then I got y minus c minus t, one bracket plus t minus g, the other bracket equal to x minus m. Okay? As we learned before, y as an income minus consumption, your income after you paying for consumption, after you paying for tax, if you have some money left, okay? This bracket, your income after paying for consumption, after paying for tax, this bracket, the money you have left, okay? We're gonna call it is like the saving of the people, okay? The income of the people, the income of the population, the income for the whole country. After they pay for consumption, after they pay for the taxes, the money that the people have left. This is gonna be considered for the saving of the people, okay? We call it private saving. We call it private saving, okay? And then the second bracket, this is tax, T minus G, okay? Tax minus government spending. For the government, okay, for the government, tax is the revenue minus G, how the government gonna spend the money, okay? The revenue minus spending, if you have some money left. Oh, I forget I, sorry, okay, I forget I. This one you're supposed to have I here. Okay, again, come back here. The revenue minus spending, if you have some money left, we're gonna call it saving of the government. We're gonna call it saving of the government. Saving of the government, okay, is a public saving. Minus I equal to x minus m. Okay, and again, private saving combined with the public saving. Okay, if we combine private saving and public saving together, then we're gonna get saving for the whole country. I'm using just x, saving for the whole country, minus investment equal to x minus m. Okay, s minus m. So then, okay, s minus I equal to x minus m. What does it mean here? Saving for the whole country minus investment always equal to export minus import. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, saving minus investment. Saving is how the people save the money. Okay, in the whole country. Investment is going to be about how we're going to borrow the money. Okay, investment is how the business sector borrow the money and invest in the business. Okay, so this one we call it NCO, and this one we call it NX. NCO means net capital outflow, NX means net export. Okay, so then let me explain it here. NCO always equal to NX. NCO always equal to NX. What does it mean? What does it mean? If both sides of the equation are positive, okay? If both sides of the equation are positive, if NCO is positive, what it means is saving is greater than investment. If NX is positive, it means export is greater than import. Okay? So then, what does it mean? Okay? If NCO is positive, it means that in our country, we save more than the number of money that we save is more than the number of money that we want to borrow. Again, investment is about borrowing money. The number of money that we save is greater than the number of money that we borrow. Okay? So what it means is we have some money left in the economy that nobody wants to borrow. Okay? We have some money left in the economy that nobody wants to borrow. For example, saving in the economy, people want to save 300 million. People want to invest only, again this one is s minus I, x minus m, okay? People want to invest, want to borrow the money and invest equal to just 200, for example. What does it mean? People save $300 million. People borrow the money to invest in the business equal to $200. It means that we have $100 $100 million left in the economy that nobody wants to borrow. Okay? If we have the money in the economy that nobody wants to borrow, what are we gonna do? Okay, what are we gonna do? Okay, we have $100 million left in the economy that nobody in our country wants to borrow. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lend this money out to the other country. We're gonna lend the money out to the other country. So then this one becomes net capital outflow. Okay, the capital that flow out of the country. That is the level of money that flow out. The level of money that flow out. Okay. On the other hand, on the right side of the equation, if X greater than M, if export is greater than import, if export greater than import, what does it mean? When we export, we earn the money from the other country. Okay? When we import, we spend the money out. Okay? For example, we maybe export equal to $500 million and we import for 400. What does it mean? If we export 500, it means that we're going to earn the money from the other country equal to $500 million. If we import 400, it means that we're going to spend the money out 400. So this one becomes plus 100. Okay, export more than import. It means that for the net value, for the net number of money, we earn the money from the rest of the world equal to $100 million. Okay, so this one, when we earn the money from outside, this one is meaning that the money flow in. Two equations always equal, like positive 100 always equal to positive 100. Is refer to the money that flow in always equal to the number of money that flow out. Okay? So this is how the idea comes from. Okay? And then we already learned that NX is in IS curve. Okay? Export and import. We just learned that export and import is stay in IS curve. Okay? And the effects of export and import can shift the IS curve to the right and to the left. And now we're going to learn about NCO, how the capital moving in or moving out of the country. This one going to be represented by, for NCO, this one going to be represented by the new curve, BP curve that we're going to learn here, BP curve. Okay, BP curve. So that's good. So then, okay, let's see BP curve. Okay, so the idea of the capital flow, the idea of the capital flow or the money that flow between country, okay, again, capital here refers to the number of money that flow between country, okay. For example, if we have two countries, USA and UK, okay, USA and UK. We stay here in USA. We stay here in USA. For example, we have $100 million in our economy for saving. Okay. For example, we have the capital. This is like the capital. Our capital equal to $100 million. When we have the money like this, $100 million. Okay. So if the people save the money equal to $100 million, okay, then the question is, how are we going to make the profit from this money? How are we going to make most of the profit from this money? Okay? So we're going to have choice. We're going to have choice. We're going to keep this money in USA, or we're going to move our money to UK. Okay? We're going to have two choices. Or maybe I can give you one more choice. Thailand. Okay? So the question is, if we have the capital, if we have the money from the saving equal to $100 million in USA, in our country, we're going to keep it in our country, or we're going to throw it to UK, or we're going to throw it to Thailand. Okay? What is the factor that determines our decision on this one? Okay? We're gonna move the money to the other country, UK or Thailand, depend on what? Depend on what factor, okay? The factor that's gonna affect our decision is gonna be the level of R, or real interest rate. R, or the level of real interest rate. Okay, so what does it mean by the real interest rate? If you have the money, if you have a saving, real interest rate is considered to be the return of your money, right? Real interest rate is going to be the return of your money. For example, if the real interest rate in USA equal to 5%, okay, 0.05 is like a 5%. Okay, if the real interest rate in USA equal to 5% or 0.05, if the real interest rate in UK equal to 6%, 0.06. So what does it mean? What does it mean? If you keep your money, if you keep your capital in USA, by the end of the year, the return is only 5%, right? Okay, if you keep your money in USA, by the end of the year, 100 million become 105. You got it? This is your return. Your return is 5 million. On the other hand, for the UK, United Kingdom, the real estate equal to 6%. It means that if you decide to move your money to UK, by the end of the year, you will get $106 million. Higher return, right? Higher return. You see that? Higher return. So, normally, okay, for UK and USA case, okay, normally the people gonna move the money. Normally the investor gonna move the money, gonna throw their capital from the low interest rate country to the high interest rate country. Okay, you got that? Okay, let me write down here. Normally the money, okay, gonna flow from low real interest rate to high real interest rate country. The capital flow like this. Okay, the capital flow like this. From the low of the real interest rate country to the high of the real interest rate country, like the case of UK and USA. Okay? How about Thailand? Okay? If in USA you have the real interest rate equal to 5%, and then Thailand have the real interest rate equal to 6%. Okay, 6%. The question is, are you still want to move your money from USA to Thailand? You see that Thailand have a higher real interest rate. If you move the money to Thailand, you get higher return. Are you still want to move the money to Thailand? The question, this is a question, right? Are you still want to move the money to Thailand from 5% in USA to 6% in Thailand? Okay? The answer is maybe not. Why? Okay, why? Because Thailand, okay, small country, okay, Thailand have higher risk. You have risk, okay, risk on your investment. You never know what will happen in the future, okay? For example, you know that we just have a national election weeks ago, okay? And the election quite not so good, okay? We never know whether this year we're gonna have a military coup again or not. We never know whether we're gonna have the problem with the new government or not. So we have a lot of risk. Even though Thailand have a higher return, but risk is also high. So it's not worth to move the money to Thailand. Okay? So for the small country, for the country that have a lot of risk, okay? Just 1% of the higher interest rate from 5 to 6 is not enough. It's not enough. The higher interest rate, only 1% is not enough because your country have risk, our country have risk. In order to give more incentive to investors to move their money to Thailand, to the country that have high risk, you need to increase even more of the real interest rate. For example, maybe increasing to 8%. Okay, increasing even more of the real interest rate, okay, to 8%. This one have even higher gaps. Okay, the foreign investor will think it again. Okay, even though Thailand have a risk, but the return is quite really good. 8%, 3% higher than USA. So investor maybe move the money to Thailand if we have higher interest rate, higher enough. If the interest rate is higher enough, we will move it. Okay, even though we have a risk. So you can see that for the big country like UK, USA, like Japan, like Germany, big country, safe country, okay? Only a small gaps of the real interest rate, the money can move from one to the other one. For the small country, for the country that is like have a lot of risk, the country that like have some problem, okay? We're not sure what's gonna happen in the future. Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, something like that. We need even bigger gaps between the real interest rate. Okay? Okay, bigger gaps. The real interest should be higher gaps. In order to convince the investor to move the money, to throw the money to their country. Okay? Good, also good. So then in conclusion, okay, the capital that flow between country, okay, the capital that flow between country, the money that flow between country, depend on real interest rate. Depend on real interest rate or R. Okay, so good. Okay, done with this one. Then next one, how BP curve look like? How BP curve look like? We're gonna have two cases, okay? Case number one, perfectly capital mobility country. Number two, imperfectly capital mobility country. Okay? R, O, and Y. Y, O, and R. Okay, this is the graph. Okay, two cases. First case, this one is a perfectly capital mobility. This one refers to the country that we can move the money in, we can move the money out without restriction, without control. Free market country. Free market country. Anyone can invest the money in this country. Anyone can take the money out from this country without any problem, without any restriction. Okay, free market country. Okay, free market of the capital country. You can think about USA, you can think about UK, you can think about Japan, okay? Big country and they didn't control the money, they didn't control the capital, okay? The capital can move in and move out without any problem. This one is the opposite side. Imperfectly, okay? Imperfectly capital mobility country. This one is a country that control, okay, have some policy, have some rules that control the level of money they're gonna flow in and flow out from their country. Have some restriction, okay? You think about Thailand, you think about China, you think about Vietnam, small country, okay, something like that. Try to control the market, okay? Try to control the market, okay? So the graph of the BP curve is going to be a little bit different. For the imperfectly capital mobility country, okay, BP curve, they're going to have a positive slope like this. For the perfectly capital mobility, they're going to have a horizontal curve like this. And this is R. Let's say R1. This is a different, okay? Horizontal curve and a positive slope curve. Okay? So let's focus on this one first. Okay? The BP curve here, okay? Every point on the BP curve, okay, means that the number of money that flow in equal to the number of money that flow out. Okay? Every point on BP curve, point A, point B, point Z, okay? Every point on the BP curve. Point A, your GDP is Y1, point B, your GDP is Y2, point C, your GDP is Y3. Even though your economy is good or even though your economy is bad, okay, even though your economy is good or bad, as long as your country have a real interest at R1, okay, even though your economy is good or even though your economy is bad, as long as your country have a real interest equal to R1, it means that the number of money that flow in equal to the number of money that flow out. You have balance of payment. Each point here, okay, as long as the level of the real estate equal to R1, the number of money that flow in always equal to the number of money that flow out. So that's good. Okay, so the BP curve represent the BP curve horizontal curve like this. The BP curve represent the level of real interest that make the number of money that flow in equal to the number of money that flow out. The capital that flow in equal to the capital that flow out. On the other hand, any point above the curve, for example point E, any point below the curve, for example point F, any point that above the curve, located above the curve, for example point E, it means that the real interest rate is too high. You see that? Any point above BP curve, it means that the real interest rate is too high. Okay? Higher than normal, higher than usual, higher than R1. So any point above BP curve, when the real estate is too high, what does it mean? What does it mean? When the real interest rate is too high, okay? Just like the case that I give it to you, UK and USA, when the real estate in our country is too high, everyone wants to move the money to our country, right? If the real estate of our country is too high, everyone wants to move the money to our country because you gotta get higher return, higher than normal. Okay? So when the real estate is too high like this, the money, the capital gonna flow into our country more. Okay, so then the money gonna flow in more than the money that flow out. Then you're gonna have your balance of payment will become surplus. Balance of payment will become surplus. Okay. On the other hand, point F. Any point that located below BP curve mean that the real interest rate is too low. You see that R1 going down to R3. The real estate is too low. What does it mean by the real interest rate is too low? When the real interest rate is too low, okay, it means that if you have the money in our country, you're gonna get very low return. So what you're gonna do? The return in our country is too low. You're gonna want to move the money out to the other country to get a higher return, right? When the return in our country, when the real interest rate in our country is too low, everyone want to move the money out to the other country that offer higher real interest rate or higher return. Okay? The money gonna move out. Okay? The money gonna move out more than the money move in. So this one, the money move out greater than the number of money that move in. So what the problem you have here? Balance of payment become deficit. Your balance of payment become deficit. Okay? So that's good. Okay, this is how the model works. How the graph works. Again, for the perfectly capital mobility, the graph always horizontal like this. The graph that horizontal like this is mean that even though the economy is good, even though the economy is bad, as long as the real interest rate in your country equal to R1, the number of money that flow in always equal to the number of money that flow out. You have balance of payments. Okay? Every point on the BT curve represents balance of payment. The money that flow in equal to the number of money that flow out. Okay? Any point above BT curve, any point above BT curve, it means that the real interest rate in your country is too high. Okay? When the real interest rate is too high, everyone want to invest the money, flow the money to our country. The money gonna flow in more, too much. Okay? The money flow in is gonna be more than the money flow out. So you're gonna have balance of payment, gonna be surplus. Okay? On the other hand, any point that located below, okay, any point that located below BP curve, okay, like a point F, it means that the real interest rate in your country is too low. When the real interest rate in your country is too low, okay, so what you're gonna do when the real interest rate in your country is too low? Nobody wants to flow the money to our country, okay, because the return is too low. Everyone want to move the money out, want to invest the money in the other country. The money gonna flow out. The money gonna flow out more than the money that flow in. So then balance of payment become deficit. Okay, balance of payment become deficit. Okay, so this is a case of perfectly capital mobility. For the imperfectly capital mobility, the idea is gonna be the same, except the balance of payment gonna have a positive slope going upward a little bit. Okay, the slope that going upward like this, what does it mean? For example, if we have point A, point B, and point C like this. Okay? For example, Y1, Y2, Y3. Okay? When the economy, if we focus on point B, Y1, when the economy is good, okay, GDP is going to be increasing from Y1 to Y3. When the economy is bad, GDP is going to be decreasing from Y1 to Y2. Okay? So then, how it affect the economy? Okay, look at this one. When the economy is good, okay, when the economy is good, when the economy is good, okay, what does it mean? When the economy is good, let me write down somewhere here. When the economy is good, when GDP increasing, okay? Normally, when the economy is good, when the GDP increasing, people tend to import more, right? Import product, import goods, it's like a luxury goods, okay? When we have more money, we tend to buy more things from the other country, okay? Just like yourself, when we have more money, when the economy is good, we tend to travel more to the other country, shopping more, right? Buy the product more from the other country. So then, when the economy is good, okay, by the nature of the people, when the economy is good, they're gonna import more. When you import more, the money gonna flow out. Okay, the money gonna flow out. When the economy is bad, okay, when the economy is bad, think about yourself. When you have a crisis, when the economy is bad, we're gonna stop traveling abroad. We're gonna stop going to the other country. We're gonna stop shopping the luxury good. When the economy is bad, we're gonna import less. We're gonna import less. Okay? When economy is bad, we're gonna stop buying the product from the other country. We're gonna import less. So then the money gonna flow in more, right? Import less. Okay. So then what does this mean? When economy is good, y1 to y3. Look at this one. When economy is good, y1 to y3, we're changing from point B to point Z. Point B, for example, the level of the real estate equal to R1. When economy is good, y1 increasing to y3, point B going up to point C. When economy is good, we're gonna import more. Then the money gonna flow out more. How to make it balance? When the money flow out more, we need to do something to make the money flow in more instead, right? Okay? When the money flow out, we need to make the money flow in more, okay? To balance it, okay? To balance between the money that flow in and flow out. So, when the economy is good, the money flow out from import. So we need to increase the interest rate a little bit. Okay? Like this. When the economy is good, we import more, the money go out. So then we have to compensate by increasing the real interest rate to make the money move in order to make the balance of payment still balanced. Okay? When the economy is good, we import more, the money flow out. We need to compensate these effects by increasing the real interest rate to make the money flow in. Okay? So then, point B and point C, the money flow in still equal to the money that flow out. Still have balance of payment. On the other hand, when the economy is bad, we import less. The money is going to move in, so then we're going to lower the real interest rate down to compensate these effects. Right? Because when you roll the real interest rate down, the money is going to start to move out. Okay? To offset the effect of the money move in here. Okay? So that's why they always have a positive slope like this. And every point A, point B, point C, both 3 points, the number of money that flow in always equal to the number of money that flow out. And it's compensated by changing of the real interest rate a little bit, going up and going down. Okay? So again, every point on the curve, the money that flow in, always the money equal to the money that flow out. Any point that located above point E or point F is going to be the same idea. Any point that above the curve, RE for example, any point that above the curve, it means that the real interest rate is too high. When the real interest rate is too high, what people are going to do is they're going to move the money in, right? When the real estate is too high, it means that the return in our country is high. Everyone wants to invest the money, everyone wants to flow the money to our country. So then here, the number of money that flow in greater than the number of money that flow out. Balance of payment becomes surplus. Okay? Point F, below the curve, it means that the real interest rate is too low. When the real estate is too low, everyone wants to move the money out. The level of money that flow out greater than the level of money that flow in. Balance of payment become deficit. Okay, balance of payment become deficit. This is how it works for the BP curve for both cases. Perfectly capital mobility country, imperfectly capital mobility country. So that is how it works. Again, perfectly capital mobility countries mean that the country that have a free market. You can flow the money in and the money out, okay, without any problem, without any control, without any restriction. Okay, for the imperfectly capital mobility country, it means that the country that try to control the capital market. Okay, before you're gonna flow the money in, before you're gonna flow the money out, you need to have a permission. Okay, you need to follow the law, follow the rules. Okay, have a lot of control from the central bank, from the government, or something like that. Okay, so we have two cases. Okay, so done for the first section. Okay, I'm gonna do it the second section later. Okay, close first. Okay, so this is gonna be the other section. Okay, so for here now we gotta put three graphs together. Okay, so this one is IS, LM, and BP model. Okay, IS, LM, and BP model. So first we're gonna focus on perfectly capital mobility country. Okay, we're gonna focus on first for the perfectly capital mobility country. Okay, so this one we're gonna assume that this country using flexible exchange rate. Okay, flexible exchange rate. Okay, ISLM and BP. Okay, perfectly capital mobility, and this one we're gonna focus on flexible exchange rate. We're gonna talk about fixed exchange rate later. Okay, so first we're gonna focus on flexible exchange rate. So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna compare between fiscal policy and monetary policy. So first here is gonna be fiscal policy. Okay, so I'm gonna draw two graphs. Okay, hold. This is gonna be Y and R. Okay, it's gonna be IS curve, LM curve, and then you have BP curve. Okay, IS, LM, and BP. This is a case of perfectly capital mobility country. Okay, so you're gonna have horizontal curve for the BP. Okay, so you have equilibrium point Y1, R1. Okay, Y1 and R1. So then, okay, this is the whole model, and then we're gonna write down exchange rate. Okay, the currency market. This is gonna be okay, the nominal exchange rate E, the nominal exchange rate. For example, if we focus on USA, okay, USA using US dollar. This is the number of US dollar. Okay, the number of US dollar in the economy. This one is gonna be demand for US dollar, supply for US dollar. Okay, demand for US dollar and supply for US dollar. Demand for US dollar, demand for your currency. This is how the people, how the investor want to buy US dollar. Supply for US dollar is mean how the people want to sell US dollar. This is what people want to sell, what people want to buy. Okay? And then you have the equilibrium of currency market. Okay? The number of US dollar in the economy, S1, and then the exchange rate E1. The exchange rate E1. Okay? Exchange rate here is just like the price of money. It is just like the price of money. It is just like the price of US dollar. If this one going up, it means that dollar is strong. If this one going down, it means that the price of dollar is cheap. Okay? Okay? This is like the price of dollar is going up. It means the dollar is expensive. When dollar is expensive, we say that the dollar is strong. If this one is going down, the price of dollar going down, it means that the dollar is cheap. Okay, so it means that the dollar is weak. The value of dollar is weak. The value of dollar is strong. Okay, or more expensive or cheap. Okay, yeah. Okay. So we're gonna consider two graphs together. Okay, we're gonna consider two graphs together. One on your right hand side. This is gonna be the currency market. Demand for US dollar, supply for US dollar, and exchange rate, the price of US dollar. And this one is gonna be ISLM and BP model that represent many market in the same times. Okay, IS curve represent equilibrium in output market. LM curve represent equilibrium in money market, and BP curve represent the real interest rate that make the money flow in equal to the amount of money that flow out. Okay, so we have three curves. Okay, intersect to each other. We have the equilibrium right here, E. Okay, IS intersect with LM and intersect with BP. Okay, you have the Y and the equilibrium point is the GDP Y1. You have the real interest rate and the equilibrium point you have R1. Okay, so we're gonna consider two graphs together. Okay, we're gonna do two graphs together like this in many cases. Okay, in many cases, we have perfectly capital mobility and imperfectly capital mobility. We're gonna have flexible exchange rate and fixed exchange rate, and we're gonna have fiscal policy and monetary policy. We're gonna compare it to each other. Okay, so first, perfectly capital mobility and flexible exchange rate. We're gonna focus on fiscal policy. Okay. So how it works? Okay. What is the effect of fiscal policy? For the fiscal policy, it's gonna be about the government spending and tax. Remember, right? Okay. Fiscal policy is gonna be the policy of the government, how they control the government spending and how they control the level of tax. Okay. So here, if when the economy is bad, when you have a crisis, the government can stimulate the economy by increasing their spending or lowering the tax down. Okay, they can increasing government spending and lower the tax down. Okay, if they're doing together like this, okay, we're gonna have an effect on IS curve. We're gonna have effect on IS curve. Remember IS curve represent. If you still remember, IS curve represent y equal to c plus I plus g plus nx, right? Okay, the government spending is here. Tax is inside consumption. When you lower the tax down, people are going to consume more. When you lower the tax down, people are going to consume more. Okay? So then by using the fiscal policy, increasing government spending or lowering the tax down, then we're going to have an effect on IS curve. If you still remember, IS curve going to shift to the right. IS curve going to shift to the right like this. Okay, IS curve shift to the right like this. Okay, then the new equilibrium point moving from E1 to E2. The new equilibrium point, okay, we focus on the point that IS intersect with LM. IS intersect with LM is going to be E2 here. Then you can see that by using the fiscal policy, GDP increasing from Y1 to Y2. GDP increasing from Y1 to Y2 and the real interest rate increasing from R1 to R2. Real interest rate increasing from R1 to R2, Y1 to Y2, R1 to R2. So fiscal policy quite work in the first step. In the first step it's quite work. Okay. However, the new equilibrium point here, E2, is not the best point. It's not good enough. Why? Because the new equilibrium point E2 is only the point that IS intersect with LM. But the point E2 isn't, they didn't stay, this point didn't stay on BP curve. See that? The new equilibrium point E2 is located above BP curve. Located above BP curve. So what does it mean? What does it mean? The new equilibrium point E2 located above BP curve is mean that the new real interest rate R2 is too high, higher than normal. Still remember, right? The new equilibrium point is located above BP curve. It doesn't located on BP curve. So it's located above BP curve. The real interest rate R2 is too high. The real interest rate R2 is too high. What does it mean? It means that a lot of money is gonna flow into our country. Because our country have a higher real interest rate, right? Have a higher return. Everyone wants to invest the money in our country. Then, this point, the money flow in greater than the money flow out. Balance of payment becomes surplus. Balance of payment becomes surplus. Okay? Balance of payment becomes surplus. Then, the money flow into our country more than the money flow out. Balance of payment becomes surplus. Next, how it affects currency market. How it affects currency market. When the money flow into our country more, okay, if the money flow from China to USA, if the money flow from Japan to USA, if the money flow from the other country to our country, okay, if the money flow from other country to USA, it means that they need to sell their currency and buy US dollar, right? If the money flow from Japan to USA, it means that they need to sell Japanese yen and buy US dollar. If the money flow from China to USA, It means that they have to sell Chinese yuan and buy US dollar. Because they cannot use Chinese yuan in USA. They cannot use Japanese yen in USA, right? Okay, so when the money flow into our country, they need to buy more our money. They need to buy more our money. Demand of our money will be increasing or shift to the right. Okay, if money flow into USA more, demand for US dollar shift to the right. Okay, and then equilibrium point in currency market change from E1 to E2. Okay, the equilibrium point in currency market moving from E1 to E2. Okay, and then we have more US dollar in the market. In the same time, currency, okay, dollar, US dollar becomes stronger. The price of US dollar increasing. Dollar have stronger value. Okay, dollar have stronger value. The price of US dollar increasing. Dollar becomes strong. Okay, so the next step is when dollar becomes stronger. Okay, when dollar becomes stronger, how is effect back to this graph? How is effect back to this graph? Okay, when dollar becomes stronger. Now I'm going to change to the red color. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how the effect of stronger US dollar affect back to our model. When US dollar becomes strong, we're going to have the effects on export and import, right? Okay, right? When our currency becomes stronger, what does it mean? It means that everything that made in our country will become more expensive to the rest of the world, right? When our currency becomes strong, everything that made in USA gonna be more expensive to the rest of the world. So then we can export less. Because of strong currency, we're gonna export less. When US dollar becomes strong, it means that the product from the rest of the world will look cheaper, right? When the product from the rest of the world becomes cheaper, we're going to import more. We're going to enjoy import more. And this is the effects of strong currency. This is the effect of strong currency. We're going to export less and import more. So then, what does it mean? It means that NX is going to be lower. Okay? Where is NX in the model? NX is here, inside IS curve. NX is here inside IS curve. Remember? IS curve comes from Y equal to C plus I plus G plus NX. Because of the strong US dollar, we're going to export less and import more. Then IS curve, this is bad for the economy, right? You export less, you get less money. You import more, you're going to spend more money, right? This is bad for the economy. Then IS curve going to shift backward to the left. Going backward. GDP going backward to Y1. The real estate going backward to R1. The equilibrium point going backward to E1. Okay? So what does it mean in this case? In this case, if you are perfectly capital mobility country, if you have flexible exchange rate, okay, fiscal policy doesn't work. Fiscal policy doesn't work. Okay, even though the government spend more the money, IS curve shift to the right, and then after that, when US dollar becomes stronger, they're gonna shift back to the left. So the GDP is still the same. So it doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't work for this case. Okay. Done with the fiscal policy. Next one, they're gonna go to monetary policy. Okay. still focusing on perfectly capital mobility country. We're still focusing on flexible exchange rate. But now, I'm going to show you the effect of monetary policy. Okay? Again, we're going to draw two graphs together. Okay, two graphs, one on the left showing you IS, LM and BP. You have IS curve, you have LM curve. IS curve represents equilibrium in output market. LM curve represents equilibrium in money market. And BP curve is balance of payment. Show you the level of interest rate that make the money flow in equal to the number of money that flow out. Okay, and then on your right hand side here, you have the currency market. Okay, the currency market. You have demand for US dollar, you have supply for US dollar. Okay, so then this is exchange rate, nominal exchange rate. This is the number of US dollar in the market. If exchange rate going up, it means that US dollar become more expensive or have a stronger value. Strong. If the exchange rate going down, it means that the price of dollar become weaker. Okay, weak value. The weaker value of US dollar. And then this one is going to be the case of monetary policy. Okay? Monetary policy. Monetary policy is how the central bank, okay, how the central bank gonna inject more money, increasing M in the economy. Okay, central bank increasing M, inject more money in the economy, create more money. Okay, so then here, as you learned before, if the central bank inject more money in the economy, create more money, we're gonna have effects on LM curve. Okay, when the economy is bad, when you have crisis, central bank can stimulate the economy by inject more money, create more money. Then LM curve gonna shift to the right, like this. The new equilibrium point is moving from point E1 to E2. The new equilibrium point, the point that IS intersect with LM, is gonna go from E1 to E2. GDP increasing from Y1 to Y2. The real interest rate drop down from R1 to R2. In the first step, it's quite good. The first step, the monetary policy is quite good. GDP increasing from Y1 to Y2. Okay, it's quite good. Can stimulate the economy. However, the new equilibrium point, the real estate drop down from R1 to R2. What does it mean? The real interest rate that is lower than balance of payment. The real interest rate, the new equilibrium point, when the new equilibrium point is below balance of payment, it means that the real interest rate is too low. The real interest rate is too low. When the real estate is too low, what does it mean? The money is gonna flow out. Because when the real estate is too low, it means that the return of the money in our country is too low. Nobody wants to invest the money in our country anymore. They're gonna move the money out. Okay? Then from here, the money gonna move out more than the money that move in. Balance of payment become deficit. Okay? Balance of payment become deficit. Okay? So then, how is gonna affect the currency market? How is going to affect the currency market? Okay, so when the money move out more than the money move in, what does it mean? If the real interest rate in USA is too low, okay, when the real estate in USA is too low, if you have the money, you don't want to invest your money in USA anymore. You want to throw the money out. You maybe want to throw the money out to Japan. you maybe want to throw the money out to the UK, to China, right? Because in your country, the return is too low. If you move the money out from USA to Japan, what you have to do is, you cannot use US dollar in Japan. In Japan, they use Japanese yen. So if you want to throw the money out from USA to Japan, you need to sell your money. You need to sell your US dollar, okay, and buy Japanese yen. If you want to throw the money from USA to China, in China, they didn't use US dollar. So what you're gonna do is you have to sell your US dollar and buy Chinese yuan, right? Okay. So when the money move out of your country, they need to sell your currency. They need to sell US dollar. When they sell US dollar more, okay, supply for US dollar, gonna shift to the right. Everyone sell US dollar. Everyone want to move the money out, supply for US dollar, shift to the right. And then the price of US dollar drop down. E1 to E2. The price of US dollar drop down. It means that US dollar will be weaker, have a weaker value. Okay? The price of US dollar drop down because everyone sell US dollar in the market. Everyone take the money out. Okay? The price of US dollar drop down. Okay? You have a weak US dollar. The weak US dollar, how it affects your economy. Weak US dollar, how it affects export and import. When US dollar become weak, it means that everything that made in USA gonna look cheaper to the rest of the world. Okay? If US dollar become weak, it means that everything that made in USA become cheaper to the people, to the rest of the world. Okay? And when the US dollar become weaker, everything that made outside USA, everything that made outside USA in the other country gonna become more expensive, okay, to the people in USA. Okay? So what are they gonna do? Okay? Everything that made in USA become cheaper. It means that everyone wants to buy more US product, right? Everything that made in USA looks cheaper. Everyone wants to buy more product from USA. So then it means that your country, USA, can export more. Everything that made outside USA become more expensive to American people. Then American people gonna import less, buy less product from the other country. Okay? Export more and import less. So then, this is good for your economy, right? When you export more, you earn more money. When you import less, you spend out less money. Then this one, NX increasing. NX increasing, right? NX increasing. Where is NX in the model? Where is NX in the model? Remember, NX is hiding in IS curve. Remember? IS curve is Y equal to C plus I plus G plus NX. Right? If NX increasing, it's good for the economy because you earn more money. IS curve gonna shift to the right. I use the red color, okay? Shift to the right. Then equal point change again from E2 to E3. The real estate going back to R1 again. The new equilibrium point stay on BP curve again. GDP increasing from Y1 to Y2 and then to Y3. Okay? So this one is like, it's very good for the economy, you see. GDP keep increasing in two steps. GDP keep increasing in two steps from Y1 to Y2, from Y2 to Y3. Okay? The new equilibrium point is good. The money flow in equal to the money flow out again. You have balance payment again. Okay? Real interest rate going back to R1 again. GDP keep increasing from Y1 to Y2, from Y2 to Y3. So it means that this policy is work. It means that this policy is work because it can increasing the GDP of the country very well. Okay? It's increasing the GDP of the economy very well. From Y1 to Y2, from Y2 to Y3. Okay? So for conclusion, if your country is perfectly capital mobility, if your country using flexible exchange rate, okay, monetary policy work, fiscal policy doesn't work. Okay? So this is how it's come from. Okay. Okay, done with this one. We're gonna move on. Okay, move on. Okay, next one. Okay, we still focusing on perfectly capital mobility, but now we're gonna change from flexible exchange rate to fixed exchange rate. Okay, we're gonna change from flexible exchange rate to fixed exchange rate. Okay, fixed exchange rate. Still the same, we're going to compare between fiscal policy and monetary policy. Okay, which one is better? Okay, again, it is perfectly capital mobility country, but now focus on the country that using fixed exchange rate. Fixed exchange rate is mean that this country, the central bank of this country, fix the level of the money, fix the level of the currency. The value of the currency never move. Okay, never move, never get stronger, never get weaker. They fix it. Okay, they fix it. First, we're gonna start this fiscal policy of the government. Okay, again, this is about G and T. Okay, same, just like before, you're gonna have two graphs. Okay, two graphs again. The first one is Y, O, R. You have IS curve, you have LM curve, and you have BP curve. E1, Y1, R1. Here, it's gonna be currency market, US dollar, nominal exchange rate, demand for US dollar, supply for US dollar, E1, US dollar 1, E1, exchange rate 1, okay? If exchange rate going up, it means that your US dollar become more expensive or become stronger. If exchange rate going down, it means that your dollar become weaker. Okay, strong and weak. Okay, so let's see how it's gonna be. Okay, so I change to the blue color. For the fiscal policy, again, just like the previous case, the government can use fiscal policy to stimulate the economy by changing the level of government spending, by changing the level of tax. Okay, so when you have a crisis, when the economy is bad, okay, the government can stimulate the economy by increasing G or decreasing tax at the same time. If they're doing that, they're going to have an effect on IS curve. IS curve going to shift to the right. Just like before, IS curve shift to the right because of G and T. Equilibrium point moving from E1 to E2. GDP increasing from Y1 to Y2. Quite good, right? The real estate increasing from R1 to R2. In the first stage, it's quite good. It's worked very well in the first step because GDP increasing from Y1 to Y2. However, the equilibrium point moving from E1 to E2. The equilibrium point moving from E1 to E2. The new equilibrium point E2 is located above BP curve. Any point that located above BP curve, it means that the real estate is too high, right? The real estate is too high. When the real estate is too high, the money flow in more than the money that flow out. Balance of payment becomes surplus. Just like before, same story, okay? Same story. Then how it affects the currency market? How it affects the currency market? When the money move in, okay, they need to buy more US dollar, right? When the real estate is too high, the money flow into USA greater than before. When the money flow into USA more, they need to buy more US dollar. Then, when they buy more US dollar, demand for US dollar shifts to the right. Demand for US dollar shifts to the right. Equilibrium point should be moving from E1 to E2. Just like the previous case, when demand shifts to the right, equilibrium point should be moved from E1 to E2. Exchange rate should be going up. US dollar should be stronger. But in this case, it's not. Because in this case, we use a fixed exchange rate. We don't want our currency to move. We don't want our exchange rate to move. Okay? So if we let it free, if we have a flexible exchange rate, the equilibrium point should be moved from E1 to E2. Exchange rate should be going up. Our currency should be stronger. But this one, we're using the fixed exchange rate. Fixed exchange rate means that we fix the exchange rate, the value of our currency to be here. Even though demand curve already shift to the right, but we fix exchange rate here. What does it mean? Even though demand shift to the right, but we fix exchange rate here, it means that we have the problem. Demand is here, supply is still here. Demand greater than supply. We fix our currency to be here. Demand already shift to the right, so you have the problem. Demand greater than supply. People want to buy US dollar more than people want to sell. Okay? Demand greater than supply. When people want to buy US dollar more than people want to sell, what problem you have? You have, the problem that you have is you have shortage of US dollar. US dollar in the market is not enough, it's shortage, people want to buy too much. So, since the central bank fixed the exchange rate here, creating the shortage of US dollar problem, then the central bank has to take care of this problem. Okay, how to do that? How to take care of this problem? For example, okay, this is CB, central bank, this is market. Okay, central bank and the market have shortage of the money. Shortage of US dollar. The money is not enough, right? People want to buy more than people want to sell. Central bank have to take care of this problem. US dollar is not enough, right? That's fine. Central bank have to print more money and sell it to the market. Okay, central bank have to print more money and sell US dollar to the market because they have a shortage of US dollar. When central bank print more money and sell it to the market, sell it to the people, they need to pay back in foreign currency. Okay, they need to pay back to foreign currency. Okay, if they sell it to Japanese people, they need to sell back, they need to give it back in Japanese yen. If they sell it to Chinese people, they need to pay back in Chinese yuan. So then in the market have to pay back in foreign currency. Okay, foreign currency. So what does it mean? Okay, after the central bank print more money, sell it to the market, it means that money supply in the market should be increasing. Okay, money supply in the market should be increasing because central bank print more, sell it, print more, sell it to the market, print more, sell it to the market. The money supply in the market is going to be increasing. At the same time, the central bank is going to get more foreign currency. Get more foreign currency. When they get more foreign currency, it means that national reserve of the central bank is going to be increasing. National reserve. National reserve is a place that you're going to keep the foreign currency. It's going to be increasing. It means the central bank have more money. The country have more currency, foreign currency. Okay. Then national reserve increasing at the same time. The number of money, the economy, the market increasing. They're going to have the effect back to the graph here. Central bank print more money, sell it to the market. The number of money in the market, in the economy increasing. Okay, M increasing here. You're going to have an effect on LM curve. LM curve going to shift to the right. Remember, LM curve can shift to the right, to the left, depending on the number of money in the economy. Equilibrium point change again from E1 to E2. GDP increasing from Y1 to Y3. E2 to E3 and Y2 to Y3. Okay? The new equilibrium point E3, the real interest rate going back to R1 again. The new equilibrium point E3 stay on BP curve. So it means that the number of money that flow in equal to the number of money that flow out. GDP increasing in the second step from Y2 to Y3. So what does it mean? In this case, it means that fiscal policy work very well. GDP increasing in two steps. You know, yeah, GDP increasing from Y1 to Y2, Y2 to YT. Okay, so it means that this policy stimulate the economy very well. This work. Okay, done. Okay, last one for today. Okay, last one. Still focusing on perfectly capital mobility. Still focus on fixed exchange rate. But this time, we're gonna talk about monetary policy. Okay, monetary policy. Again, two graphs. Okay, just like before, on your left hand side is going to be IS, LM, and BP model. You have IS curve, represent equilibrium in output market. You have LM curve, represent equilibrium in money market. You have BP curve, represent the level of real interest rate that make the money flow in equal to the money that flow out. Have balance of payment. On your right hand side, you have the graph that represent currency market. You have demand for US dollar, you have supply for US dollar, you have exchange rate or the price of US dollar. When exchange rate going up, it means that the price of US dollar become more expensive. It means that the dollar is strong. When the exchange rate going down, it means that the price of US dollar become cheaper. It means that the value of US dollar become weak. Okay? So this is just a starting point. Okay, starting point. So then here we're gonna focus on monetary policy. When the economy is bad, the central bank can stimulate the economy by inject more money into the economy, increasing M. If the central bank increasing M, LM curve will shift to the right. E1 to E2. Okay, LM curve will shift to the right. E1 to E2. GDP increasing from Y1 to Y2. The real estate drop down from R1 to R2. Okay? This is the effect of monetary policy. In the first stage, it's quite good because the GDP increasing from Y1 to Y2. However, the new equilibrium point E2 is located below BP curve. The new equilibrium point E2 below BP curve, it means that the real interest rate is too low. The real interest rate is too low. When the real interest rate is too low, okay, it means that the money is gonna move out of the country. The money is gonna move out of the country because the return in our country is too low. Nobody wants to invest the capital here. They're gonna throw the money out. So then here, the money is gonna move out more than the money that move in. Balance of payment become deficit. Okay. When balance of payment become deficit, okay, when balance of payment become deficit, when the money move out, they need to sell our money before they're gonna go out, right? They're gonna sell US dollar. Supply for US dollar shifts to the right. Supply for US dollar shift to the right. The equilibrium point should be moved from E1 to E2. The equilibrium point should be moved from E1 to E2. The value of US dollar should be weaker. Okay, the value of US dollar should be weaker. Exchange rate should be going down. US dollar should be weaker. Okay, but in this case, we use a fixed exchange rate. If we use a fixed exchange rate, it means that it cannot get weaker. The exchange rate is still here, the same at E1. Supply only shift to the right because people want to sell more. Okay, but we fix exchange rate here at E1. What the problem we have? The problem that we have is at E1, supply is here, demand is here, still here. You have the gaps. You have the gap. The gaps here represent people want to sell US dollar more than people want to buy. Okay, people want to sell more than people want to buy. So it means that you have surplus. You have surplus problem of US dollar. Okay, people want to sell more than people want to buy. Okay, so it means that you're gonna have some of the money, some amount of money that nobody wants to buy, right? Okay, who's gonna take care of this problem? The one that have to take care of this problem always Central Bank, CB. Let me write down here. CB and the market. The market have the surplus problem. Okay, some money nobody want to buy. Since nobody want to buy, Central Bank have to buy it. You're gonna sell it to Central Bank. You have the surplus of the US dollar that nobody want to buy. You can sell US dollar to Central Bank. Central Bank have to buy all the excess US dollar. When Central Bank buy the US dollar back from the market, Central Bank have to pay back in foreign currency. Okay? Foreign currency. So, what does it mean? When Central Bank buy back the US dollar from the market, it means that the number of money in the market gonna be lower. Okay, the number of money in the market gonna be lower. So it means that M gonna be going down because they sell the money back to the Central Bank. The money in the market, the money in the country gonna be going down. When the Central Bank pay back the money in the foreign currency, it means that the place that they keep the foreign currency, which is named National Reserve. National Reserve of the country gonna be going down, drop down. National Reserve gonna drop down. So then, how is it affect back to the model? Okay, in the market you have a surplus of US dollar, then you're gonna sell all the surplus back to the Central Bank. It means that the number of money in the market, in the economy, gonna be going down. When the number of money in the economy reducing, going down, LM curve gonna shift back to the left. LM curve gonna shift back to the left. When LM curve shift back to the left, equilibrium point going back to E1. GDP going back to Y1. The real estate going back to R1. You see that? LM curve shift back to the left to the original point. Equilibrium point going back to E1. GDP going back to Y1, and the real estate going back to R1. Okay, so it means that in this case, monetary policy doesn't work. Doesn't work because the GDP going backward, okay, to the original point. It doesn't work. So, for conclusion, if your country is perfectly capital mobility, If your country using fixed exchange rate, if you want to stimulate the economy, you should use fiscal policy instead of monetary policy. See that? Okay? So, done. Okay, done for today. See you again next week.